I will now reenact the VE-1's dramatic scene from Macross Do You Remember Love. Enemy is approaching course 107. And that's basically it. So, this is the new VE-1 Elint Seeker from Yamato Toys. And well, the big question about the VE-1 is, why do we love it so much? I mean, when you look at this toy, and then you say, look at one of these, what's the real difference? Well, this one's got some things on it, but this one has the stuff. I mean, look at all this stuff. You've got 2 pilots. That's more stuff than a regular one. Look, more stuff. You got this big radar dome that just rotates a little bit. Doesn't spin freely, but still rotates. That's some cool stuff. I mean, look at these boosters. They got a bulge on it. And what's the side? There's more stuff. Look at that. There's some radar in there. That's some cool stuff. It's got this little articulated sensor arm down here. You can do some cool stuff with it. You can move it around. You can rotate it. Store it away if you want to bring out the landing gear. Really, there's a lot of cool stuff on here. As you can see, not going anywhere. This is solid stuff. Now, you're probably wondering out there, especially you, Sanjeev, can you make this thing transform with the stuff? Mostly. The biggest problem is this kind of gets in the way. Everything else is fine. You could leave it on. For this video, I'm going to try my hardest to keep everything on as I transform it. Do this at your own risk. So, we're going to bring Alright, I guess I already broke my rule because this never stays on when I wanted to bring it off of the mounting point, but who cares? Okay, just going to bring out the legs. Try to keep the leg packs attached. Already failing at that. Going to disengage the arms from their little clamp in the back, and then bring the legs as far away as I possibly can. I'm going to try to do to attempt to transform this with everything on it. And bring this out, and the cool thing about this particular piece is that it's on a turntable, so I can point towards the back. That's pretty cool, huh? Okay, so let's kind of angle the legs like this. Try to make sure everything stays on. Disengage the legs here from their front mounting. Disengage this leg too. You just kind of have to wiggle it out, get it past its own locking clamps. Yeah, you see, this is why I usually just take that thing off, because it's a lot easier. But, you know, I think I'm starting to get it. Okay, so let's see if I can't bring one of the arms out and around. And this is the easiest one to do, because you can just swing the leg up and past. Okay. Yeah, look at that. We got an arm. Same with this side. Just gonna bring the leg out and then swing this out and past, and oh my god, I did it! I kept the stuff on and transformed it. It's amazing. This is an amazing toy. This is where the magic is happening today. Just gonna bring up the arms off their little locking clamps. And then put the legs back. I'm going to make a Gerwalk. Gerwalk. Ground effect reinforcement of wing and ornament with locomotive knee joint. That's what it stands for. if you didn't know. And that's some cool stuff. Alright, so you can bring these out. Bring out the legs too. Now, this one, out of all the VF-1 toys, the new Yamato ones I mean, this is probably the tightest one that I own in terms of the joints. I mean, this thing is rock solid. Everything just feels good on this one. Alright, so we got ourselves a Gerwalk. Now, probably looking at this arm right here and saying, hey look, that blocks the hand from coming out, doesn't it? Nope, you just take it, rotate it, and here we go, look at that. And the hand comes out. That's pretty cool stuff right there. On this side, bring out the other hand. And here we go. We got the VE-1 Gerwalk mode. As you can see, it's pretty stable. Even with all the stuff on it, and that's real key, because you don't want to have loose stuff. It's a damn impressive piece. Really, really impressive. Try to keep it in shot properly. There we go. Now, let's go all the way. Let's go to Battroid mode with the stuff. And since we're halfway there, it's already pretty easy. Just bring the legs out again. Part the arms. Unlock the chest plate. This whole thing up and push the heat shield through. Canopy shield, heat shield. The thing that goes over the cockpit. That's what I'm going to call it. Cockpit thing. Cockpit stuff. There we go. And even despite the fact that the head is pretty big, it still fits through. Okay, I'm just going to go over to the back side and use their new, amazing, redesigned latch for the nose cone, where they changed it so that you didn't have to slot it in quite so precisely. Of course, now I'm having trouble getting the thing to come up. Always keep your fingernails long, kids. Okay, there we go. Do that. Flip the little filler pieces back inside, which they already did themselves. Pull this part down and make sure you push the cockpit, or the nose section in as far as it'll go. Push this in, snap that in. And the wings back down. Hope that sling doesn't fall off. That doesn't normally happen. Forgive me, Sanjeev. Snap the chest plate down and reposition the head. And now we're going to go for the last bit of magic, is that this radar arm has an extending joint right here. Just pull it out. Oh. Just pull it out and bring it forward. Try to make sure everything is hooked in as tight as it'll go. Here we go. Battroid mode with a lot of stuff on it. And the stuff As you can see, it doesn't make it any more unstable than normally would be. All the stuff is still staying on there. Looks cool and awesome. So really, this is probably the definitive VE-1 toy, of which this is one of 3. The other being the old Bandai 1/55th scale toy, as based on the original Takatoku mold. And Yamato's version 1, VE-1. This is their version 2. The version 1, well, it was based on their version 1, VF1, which was an okay toy, not really exceptional. Whereas their new VF1 toy is outstanding. And this VE-1 is some outstanding stuff. Now, I'm sure some of you out there are curious what it looks like without the stuff. So, I'm just going to strip it down real quick. I'm going to show you the bare VE-1. So, to get the stuff off, you just pull these clips off of the arm. Again, long fingernails are good. Just so you can kind of get under there. Pull it off. See? Comes off pretty easy. Do the same thing for this arm. Pull off the leg packs. Pull off these packs. And the way the backpack mounts is no different than the other ones, the other VF1s in this line. It just has a mounting piece on the underside, and also this little piece that goes on top of the backpack, much like the VT1 that I reviewed earlier. And this is the only new part here, is that the radar dome is just plugged into the back, right up here. It's a pretty big meaty connector right there. And here we go. The VE-1 without the stuff. Still looks pretty cool. Probably has the most realistic color scheme out of all of the basic stock VF1s, as in the ones that are actually from the show and not just made up to sell another repaint, which will go for crazy money on eBay. But again, high quality toy. Feels good in the hands. Looks cool. Has a nifty new head. Really, with or without the stuff, the VE-1 Elite Seeker is good stuff. You should go buy one. I picked mine up on HobbyLink Japan, but they're being sold at a bunch of retailers. So yeah, go get this stuff.